continue. And that's why do not downplay some of these trainings and you're like, this is not what I studied, or this is not the job I applied for, just because you've been asked to answer a call or you've been asked to support in a particular department, or like, that's not in my JD. You'd never know how that practice, could contribute to who you're becoming in future. It played a huge role.
I'll keep saying our tagline on CT is, you truly never know people until you take the time out to get to know people. Here you are put all nice and proper together. Kumbe mekuwa sales. You've been in sales.
Kuna kitu sijauza. I have sold. Yeah. Tough grounding work.
Grit.
Yes. That's where you learn.
You learn. So where the story is right now, you have finally gotten into the bank.
What I have always desired.
From the time you were 9.
The dream has finally come true.
Yeah, what a story.
From the time I was 9, going to visit my dad, seeing him working in the banking hall and, and saying to myself, I will work there. It's come full circle. Finally, I'm now in.
And what was your role?
I was now the customer service manager. And I was, at that particular time, I was based in Upper Hill. So it was also very close to where I was living.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Bado uko Bensita.
Bado niko huko. Sasa si ndio upgrade is now.
It's time now. It's time to
finally. It's time to upgrade. Get a little bit more room. Get a little bit more choosy. Yes. The pocket can allow.
There's a standard paycheck that's coming in.
Oh my 25th. Goodness.
And the way bankers are paid early.
Oh my goodness. Without fail. Yeah. Like clockwork. With all the other accompanying benefits. It was really, my goodness me. I was very overjoyed to see a dream come true, finally. I worked so hard for this. And also knowing the people who had contributed to that journey, it was not just my victory. It's the victory of my parents, the victory of my siblings. It's the victory of the people who have journeyed with me at each stage of my life. Because there's no self-made person.
Yeah, you have a village behind you.
Exactly.
Literally for you.
Literally, who have contributed to make this dream become a reality.
Actually, I am so glad you brought that up and you didn't pass it by.
Yeah.
Every time you've given your story, one thing that is very clear, you talk about a person.
Yes.
Have it be the person at the hotel, have it be the person in the commission job, the university lecturer.
Exactly.
Even in high school. Like I'm always hearing you mention a person.
There's someone who's always offering of themselves directly or indirectly to be a mentor. There are people who, and sometimes you do not know, as the mentor, you don't know what you're doing to this person. They're just doing their job, but they're going the extra mile. And that's why when people are sent to you, you need to be very careful. You're probably the person who will shape their life. But also the person who's been sent, you need to be teachable. Because the thing is, Richie, people come to you, you're the teacher, they're the student. Unfortunately, they are not teachable. So you lose the opportunity. So it's two-way.
Yep.
The teacher knowing their role as the mentor, whether it's as the literal teacher, the lecturer, the employer, and you knowing that it's my time to learn. And this is what I need to learn from this space. You need to be aware, because that's how people lose opportunities.
That's so true. I'm like, especially in a day and age where CVs are becoming not as powerful as they used to be.
Not anymore.
Yeah. One of the biggest secrets to anybody out there, or one of the things that every employer is looking for, is somebody who's teachable.
Yeah.
There's no employer that doesn't want anyone who's teachable.
Exactly.
And not just from you saying it with your mouth that you're teachable,
but literally.
Yes.
You're teachable, you get feedback, you take feedback well in, and you want to do better, and deliver. You understand what needs to be delivered, you're teachable, you correct what needs to be corrected, because at the end of the day, it's business here. There's a goal we're trying to achieve here. But now when you come and it's what you want, we cannot set aside the vision or the goal we set this up for just to attend to you. That wasn't the purpose.
Yep.
You will get to learn as we go along, whatever it is that you want to learn, but you've got to be teachable.
And it doesn't have to be in your way. The learning doesn't have to be in your way.
That's the other thing. Look yourself in the mirror, because a lot of times we're always looking at everyone else except ourselves.
Okay, so
Yes.
you join here.
So-
Is there a mentor in this stage?
So at this particular point, I really don't have a mentor at the first bank. I didn't have an outright mentor, but the learnings that I got through timeshare and at the hospitality industry really come to play. And I begin to rise and rise and rise. But I'm not rising because I've just joined. So people make a mistake of, because I remember some people asking, how long have you been in the banking sector for you to hold this position? So you might just look at my 2 years in the banking sector and wonder why I have this position. But really, the training that has happened started 2 decades ago.
Iceberg theory.
You're just seeing the tip.
Yes.
But do you know what it's taken for me to even sit here? So,
That's powerful. I love that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times people say, but you've only been here for 1 year. Why are you rising so fast?
There's a lot of mentorship preparation that has gone to it. You just see the Usain Bolt 1 second.
Yes.
You know how long it's taken for that to happen.
Yeah.
There's a lot of preparation and a lot of investment. That's why it's not good to compare people's lives. People's journeys are very different.
Yeah.
The kind of preparation is very different. Why? Because of the purpose and the pathway,
So you join it and you're doing now customer service.
Yes.
Then now, in a short time, you're
Into management.
for real.
For real. And I moved banks.
So, I like understanding the transition. What happens? You're poached.
Growth.
Growth. Uh-huh.
Growth. And as I'm thinking about this journey, I can see how I think I only applied for a job twice throughout my career. Twice. It was always someone notices and they pick you for something higher. So that is the same thing that happened. And I moved. I was called and I moved. It was a higher role into management, higher pay, more growth for me. And so I moved.
And what's the role in this next bank?
It was a position called Excel Management, where we dealt with high net worth clients.
Yes.
High net worth.
Yes.
And when I moved,
Oh, your customer service comes into play.
yes,
And of course, your understanding of
sales and marketing.
Yeah.
And
So
in
they
the
can
hospi-
trust you with this high net
They
worth.
can trust me with this high net worth. The training I got when I was working in that hospitality industry of how to deal with the clients so that they can keep using this hotel comes to play now. Because you want these clients to keep using this bank to bring their deposits, to take their loans facilities.
Yes.
So you're growing the portfolio, but you're not just using banking. You're using the sales and marketing, you're using the customer service. There's so many other things you're using to hit the targets. So you're given the targets in January. By June, you've done. You've achieved.
You're easy.
Why? Because it's not just the banking lens
Yes.
that you're applying. There's so many other things that are coming to play.
Even
and so,
something small as what you gave an example earlier of the eye contact, the smile.
do you know,
Yes.
at that time,
Hey, you are a force.
that was just timeshare. That's what you think, you're just doing timeshare. But you don't know how those little skills will help you when you're meeting this multi-millionaire
Yeah.
and inviting them to come and bank with
Even
you.
you're confident.
And
Even
the
in the way
confidence.
yes, the way that you speak with them.
You know, yes, you understand the operational bits of banking, but there's another layer that you weren't taught in class, but that experience gave you. And that's why do not downplay some of these trainings and you're like, this is not what I studied, or this is not the job I applied for, just because you've been asked to answer a call or you've been asked to support in a particular department, or like, that's not in my JD. You'd never know how that practice, could contribute to who you're becoming in future. It played a huge role, because I remember there's a client, a very high net worth client, who wrote about me in their book.
What?
They featured 9 people in the country who had offered him great service, and I featured in that book. What? I still have that book to date. I was so pleased to see myself in the book, And I got that just from my journey. The mentors, the trainers, the opportunities that I got that I didn't downplay. You never know who could help you shape your future in something that doesn't look like what you're even aspiring to. It really, I met all kinds of people in this country who to date we're still in contact with, and got to learn. This is the other thing. As you're interacting with these people, you get to learn their principles. How are you such a high net worth person? How do you make the money? How do you keep the money? How do you grow the money?
How do you make the money work for you?
And how do you make the money work for you? There's so much you're learning over and above your day job.
For free.
For free. Because you're the custodian of their multi-millions. You're their custodian. So you know the decisions they are making. Put this money, invest it in this 3-month fixed investment here. Put it in this 6 months. You're learning. So when you have your little,
yes,
you know
you
how to compound it.
Yes, exactly.
And they open your eyes. And I would learn so many things, Richie, all the way to the point of family. And you don't think that your family day-to-day setup translates into your money. I could see even how the money was at this level and how it has gone down just because of some choices some individuals made.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
I could see how it's translating. So you think you're just living your life. What you don't realize is that it's not just your life there. It's translating even to your finances and how that looks like 2-3 years later. I could watch these things because you have a trust relationship with your clients. They call you for this, they call you for that. And especially because my kind of clients would travel a lot. So I'd have their indemnity. And so there's a lot more I would know for purposes of also knowing how to serve them, when to call them, also for security purposes. I mean, there's so much fraud. And so you would want to know, is my client really outside the country?
Oh, exactly.
Why is this transaction happening here? So you're also watching out so that a fraudulent transaction doesn't take place. So are they on holiday really?
Wow.
Are they really on holiday? Why did that card run there? No. Why did that amount? They don't run that kind of an amount normally. So you've got to really know these people for you to be able to serve them well. Even to a point of telling them your money is about to mature at this, do we put it, because you've studied them and you even offer the advice. So you really know them. And I would see the ones who would continue, growing. I would see the ones who would just fall. I would say there's so much I would learn. Lifestyle, decisions, and how that would translate. It was It was a whole university on its own.
And just imagine the access that you're getting
Yeah.
because of the position that you have risen to.
Exactly.
And the access into real conversations.
Yes.
You get what I mean? Because it's
Yes.
money. I mean, even something like divorce, you're probably getting
Yeah.
that conversation because
Yeah.
money is involved.
Money is involved, and you have to, you now have to separate, even how you handle their money. You know what to say to who, because it's no longer now a shared conversation. And you see how it affects the money, but not just the money, because we would really, dealing with clients at that level, you even get to know their health matters. There's just so much, because anyway, this money is going to all these places, whether it's the school fees, whether it's the hospital bill, whether it's they're making a purchase, So you're also being part of this decision, and you know why this decision is happening.
Wow.
It's access to not just being a banker. You learn so much.
That is just,
Yeah.
I've heard people talk about relationship managers.
Yes.
Special funds have them, and different funds and banks have them.
Yeah.
But it's another level on its high net worth.
Exactly. It's more than just financial management. It's
Even your
life management.
Yeah. Wow.
It's life management. And that's when you know that money is not just money. There's a lot of power there. Money is spiritual. Money is a byproduct of so many other things. It's a byproduct. Yet we go for the money, not realizing that there's so much more work you need to do to even maintain it, grow it, and make it work for you. I learned so much. And you might wonder, why are you going that extra mile? Because I truly used to go that extra mile. Whether it's where you're playing golf, I'll come for the tournaments because I also want to understand your bodies and because when you're making this investment, we need to make a holistic investment. Understanding you. I should be able to tell that your golf membership, you need to be renewing your membership. Those kinds of things. And you would wonder, okay, so why are you going the extra mile? Like, just end it here. You just do what's on your JD and end it there. And
Teresa, let me tell you, people may be hearing us having this conversation and they think you're talking about money.
Yeah.
This is not just money.
No.
This is, actually, I'm like, probably the biggest thing that's lacking in Kenya is customer service.
True. You've hit the nail on the head.
And so when you talk about going the extra mile, it's not just in banking.
Yes, it's across.
Because now those guys have to also trust you to the point where they know you won't steal their money.
Exactly.
Because you now have you're the perfect version of the one to be able to steal.
Because there's nothing I don't know.
Yes.
But we've created trust. And it's not just trust for the sake of trust. It's so that we can make the best decisions. I even know your children. You come to the bank with your children sometimes. So I know your children.
Wow.
This is personal. I know you. And I'm here for your good. And it's not just money. It's the growth of this person as well. I know when payments haven't come through, how do we go about it? And you see, I didn't get into banking for the sake of just getting into banking.
In fact, I was going to ask you, by the time you're in university learning from the professor,
exactly.
What was the goal? Where did you want to end up sitting? Because banking is wide, as we clearly hearing.
Yes.
Where had you seen yourself? What was the end goal?
Yeah. So I knew that after I'm done with the Kenyan market, I really wanted to do markets in Asia, and I really wanted to do markets in Europe. Why? So that I can then bring that experience and be a CEO of a bank.
Oh.
And the reason why I really wanted to be the CEO of a bank is because I felt I owed my dad. He always kept talking about his bosses, and I met his bosses. And I was like, I can cover that gap, be the CEO. And truly say to my dad, we made it.
You did.
So there was that, and then there was also bringing what I will have learned in the other markets that I really desired to go and learn. So there was a path that I had desired.
But
you know,
but when I say banking, so you were not, your end goal wasn't customer service. It was
No.
full banking.
Exactly.
It was the
Yes.
full banking experience.
Full banking experience, but also bringing learnings from other markets to apply them in this market for the sake of our people in Kenya. I have this love for Kenya and what it could be, and I saw how being in the banking and finance world would help contribute towards that. Whether you're talking of agriculture, whether you're talking about manufacturing, whichever industries in the country that we are good in, how do you learn from other markets, bring that and grow those spaces for this country to be what it could be, to achieve its true potential? Because Kenya has so much potential. So I saw this as a tool and a quick tool to get there, whether it's banking youth, whether it's offering access,
And let me ask, what's the capacity that you have in terms of how many high net worth clients can you serve?
Ooh, there were hundreds.
There
were hundreds.
So how are you doing it?
There were hundreds. And you could get to that level based on how you've been able to manage. Because
you grow teams.
Yes, and now you have a team.
Okay.
So I had my team. I grew to the point where I now had my team. I had my team, and the team would help me. I not only had the team at one branch, I had several, So you're managing all these high net worth, and you're the overall, and you've got these teams that are helping you to manage them.
And now you are reporting to?
And I'm reporting to the overall manager, branch manager.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've left the bed sitter for sure. Now this one, yeah. Are you thinking mortgage? Your mind is being opened up. Are you like in a different?
Wow, Richie. Oh, the world opens up.
What's
It's
up?
okay.
What's it like at this stage, and what now happens to you at this stage?
Yeah. So at this particular stage, I not only rise, but I also now adjust my gear to support my siblings. So I take them to private unis, Oh,
You're making some good money.
It was really, really
You do the
nice.
firstborn thing.
Yes, I do what most firstborns do. You want to, pay it forward to your siblings. You really want to see them at a better place. Your parents are also growing older. At this particular time now, my dad has retired. And I am like, I will be of support. I will be of support because I can. And
let me ask, not to cut you off, but
yeah,
I always, whenever I find this opportunity, I want to ask it. What's the difference with that, what you're talking about, and black tax?
That's a very good question, because there's doing it out of obligation and to earn your place, or because that's what you must do given your position and what has been accorded to you. And then there is doing it from your heart because you truly want to do it. But I think it's a very thin line. Because then also there's a guilt as well. There's a guilt of, will I get to enjoy all this? What about my family? What about my siblings? There's a guilt that you're not able to sit with.
That's powerful.
And something in your conscience that says, it's not right. I'm not even able to enjoy this knowing that I could be of support to my siblings. And for me, I didn't even think twice about it. I just knew it's the right thing to do. I'm not doing it out of obligation. I'm doing it out of
Honor.
Out of honor. Out of honor is what I want to do it. And I think for the longest time, I've always wanted not to just have myself succeeding, but also the people around me, just naturally. I've always believed that there's enough for everyone. It shouldn't just be me, and then the others are wondering, when will my turn come? We could all have access. There's abundance. There's abundance. Each one can have access as much as they are able to. So there was that desire to support them, the honor, but also it not sitting well for me to keep going and not looking where is everyone else around me.
That's very well explained. I like that.
Yeah.
I like the fact that when you talked about that guilt.
Yes.
It's the first time I've had that guilt out of me going alone.
Yeah.
A lot of people have that guilt and they think the guilt is I'm doing this for these other people, but what about my own family? Which is an understandable
Which is
guilt.
very understandable. And you do it up to the extent you can, you know? And of course, your family, you have duty to your family first. And then your siblings and, because that diversion now takes place. But up to the extent you can, you know. So I could. And so I offered to. And I'm very glad that I did. Because while I kept rising and rising and rising, let me tell you, Richie, there isn't at any one point I ever moved back any steps. The graph kept going high and high and high.
And what's the peak of that graph? Or because now I'm hearing you called it Excel.
Excel. Yeah. So then I got poached by another bank. And now I got into premier banking.
Ooh.
If this was high, there was now even higher.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Premier was truly premier.
Yeah.
It was great. And this bank, the reason why I was so grateful is because they did not just poach me when my graph was just growing high and high and high. I had been involved at this second bank in a very horrible matter where a fraud happened, and I was part of that team.